You know, there's something about nature that just makes me feel like I'm at home. Don't get me wrong, I love all the modern appliances, I love my bed, but every so often I need to get back in nature and recalibrate myself. Think about how my life has been going and pray about where I think it should go. I think it feels like home because our origin story, humanity and everything else, began in a garden. This past Sunday, we looked at the most important origin story of all, the creation of everything. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. We learned that God in this story wasn't just any God, but our triune God. The Father was there, the Spirit was there, and Jesus was there. John 1:1 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." But our origin story doesn't just tell us about God, it also tells us about our purpose. See, as much as I love nature and plants and animals, nothing else is said to be created in the image and the likeness of God. And I believe that men and women were created by the triune God to reflect his image upon this earth. And what does that mean? To create life, to care for the people around us, to care for the earth that God has called us to tend, and to care for all creatures that God has placed in our path. We were also created to have a relationship with each other and a relationship with God. And we all know what comes next in the story of Adam and Eve, how sin crept in and took over the Garden of Eden like a weed. But I think that the Bible also tells us that God seeks to get the world back to what it was like in the garden someday. And maybe that's why sitting in nature sometimes feels like home. Next week, we'll talk about what takes us away from that perfection that God intended and why it's so difficult to get back to that as we look at sin face to face. But until then, take some time this week to get outside, look around you, think about what you've been called to do in this life, and pray for God to guide your steps and to bring you closer to himself. May God bless you, and I'll see you next Sunday.